guys, it's coffee time. Joe made coffee again. That's always the best gift if I wake up and Joe's already made coffee. So happy. So yesterday, I went to I Am 8-Bit, which is a big gallery where I guess they've been doing it yearly, although they skipped last year. But they finally have a permanent place where there are always going to be pieces there. Anyway, it's a gallery that's all classic game-inspired art. And last night was their VIP night, so I got to meet a bunch of artists, and I got to meet the guy who started I Am 8-Bit and all this other stuff. And there were tons of people there, like a lot of people showed up for this. And it wasn't one of those awkward, like, one-room galleries, and those are great, but it's sometimes when I walk into those, I feel like there should have been more. Like I got the bread to the sandwich, but nobody gave the meat. And so I walked in and it was like a pretty small room, and I was like, okay, it's one of those, you know, and all of the art was great. And then I realized there was a huge room in the back that was also filled with stuff. So I was like, oh, this is awesome, okay. So I really enjoyed it. That's where I got this. Pixels are sexy, and I never want to take it off. I tweeted it last night. I feel like such a douche canoe every time I say tweeted. I don't know why. I need to get over it because I really enjoy Twitter. It's a pretty useful thing, actually. But anyway, oh, and also, if you competed to try to win the custom Galaga machine, you got this shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's pretty awesome. Lane almost won it. Lane was like, sure. He had a really high score up there. He was like, that's gonna be hard to beat. Then we fist bumped, and I was like, you're totally gonna get that machine. It was a cabinet that had been custom painted by one of the artists. And if you got the highest score, in the combination of scores on Wednesday and Thursday night, if you got the highest score, you won the machine. It was super cool. And so Lane was like, totally won this. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then we went upstairs for a minute. There was like an upstairs outside area where there was there were 3 different things up there, but it was also just where people went when it was too hot in there, which was pretty quickly. So we went upstairs, we were like, oh, it feels nice out here, and then when we came back outside, somebody had already blown his score out of the water, and he was like, oh! Like, he just really wanted to go back down there and try again. He didn't, though. I don't think he did. Maybe he tried again and he just didn't beat the score. It was very sad, but I was really excited that I got the shirt. I'm really excited that I got this. I'm gonna try to keep it alive as long as possible. I wish that it wasn't made of paper. But what can you do? It's just so cool. And somebody had crocheted a bunch of really cool, like, video game hats. And everybody was trying to get me to buy one. They were like, you should own one of those. I was like, I know! But that's why I'm wearing this. Because I came home and I was like, oh, I wish I had one of those hats. I almost bought a Paul Robertson print. There are 3 Paul Robertsons there. Who else is there? There was a Double Fine book there, like an art book there. I don't think Tim Schafer was there though. I think we would have tracked him down and been like, hey! But no, the art in general was super cool, and we were able to film some stuff there, so we did a nerding out there, so you can check that out. It's so funny that I always feel so awkward interviewing people, which is weird that I have an interview show on the game station, but those are easier because I can plan out the questions. But for like on the floor, like on the spot, asking questions to people about their stuff, I'm so awkward. And Nathan, my boss, was making fun of me the whole night. He was like, well, you are pretty awkward. And I was like, I know! I'm aware that I'm awkward. I get that. The joys of being me. But it was really cool. I was really excited that we got to go there. We got to be there that night. It was so cool. There was like a big old bouncer. And when we came up there, we were like, hey, our friend called, said we could come here. And he was like, are you a guest? Or are you press? We were like, we're press, but, like, our people aren't here yet, it's just us. And he was like, are you gonna be drinking? We're like, no, probably not, since we're working. And he was like, go on in. We just, like, poof. we just like blew through and just went inside. It was so cool. We got there like an hour before it even opened, so there was nobody in there. It was really cool because we got to walk around and really look at stuff, like really enjoy it, which is more than like Nathan could say. Like when we left, Nathan stayed behind because he still hadn't looked at the art really. But there were so many people, it was like, oh, it was, and I'm short, so it was me just like wiggling through a world of people just standing around drinking and schmoozing. It's like, oh god, get me out of here. But the art was awesome. So it was all worth it. There was a huge like pop art style game controller up outside, one of the 3 pieces that were outside. And it was supposed to be that, oh god, get out of my face. It was supposed to be that there's a projector that projects the game that you're playing on the wall. And you play with this giant arcade stick, and you can actually play the game with it. And when I say giant, like, I would say, probably about the length of my bed. Imagine that, but a big square. This by that giant stick that you could play. And of course it was always drunk people who were playing it, so of course it broke, like, immediately. So by the time I went up there to be like, oh, I wonder if that fighting stick is still working, it wasn't. It was broken. It was so broken, it was terrible. But people were using it as a pretty fancy place to sit, so that was good. Oh, yeah, that was really fun. I want to do more stuff like that. You meet all sorts of weird people at those things. Like weird, like cool weird. I have a new friend named Brent who has a podcast where he and some of his music buddies like really talk about video game music, like really in depth, and he has an insane encyclopedia of knowledge about video game music that was just like it was crazy. It was awesome. Yeah, just people that really, like, really love it. I think, I'm trying to remember if there were any pieces. Oh, there was a Van Gogh joke that made me laugh so hard. I took like 1,000,000 pictures on my phone. I thought it was so funny. It was a Monkey Island joke. It had like a frame from Monkey Island, except instead of Monkey Island, it was a Van Gogh painting. And then the area, like the text-based area, said, pick up severed ear. And I laughed for so long. But that's the really cool thing, is that at an art show for video games, there can be art jokes veiled in gaming jokes. So everybody's like, oh, Monkey Island. But if you get the Van Gogh level, then it's like even more funny to you. There was also, I met a dude who did Ceci n'est pas bon, and it was 3 Zelda hearts, which it would play off of Ceci n'est pas une pipe, and it has a pipe. It has a pipe, and it says this is not a pipe. It was a big old it was just like all sorts of art jokes like that. I was like, ah! I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. And it's cool because it was big enough that not everything was Mario. Mario and Zelda. No, okay, hold on. Mario, Zelda, and Mega Man. Like, exploding all over the place. But then, you'd walk around and you'd be like, oh, Ice Climbers. Oh, Contra. That was cool. I really liked that. There was a lot of Mario and a lot of Zelda. And I understand that those are the games that really influence people, but they're also the games that get a lot of traction already. You know, there isn't as much to say with those games that hasn't already been said in terms of art. So I thought it was really cool when I saw, like, there was a Michael Jackson Power Glove. Like, there was a Power Glove covered in gems. It was so cool. Lots of 3D art, lots of crocheted stuff. And another dude that I met, who took styrofoam pieces and made, like, 3D versions of Zelda items. And again, it was Zelda, but it was in a different medium, so that was cool. I don't know, I just thought it was really awesome. So you should look, I'll put it in the description. I Am 8-Bit. It's going on until, oh, I have the poster. It's going on until September 10th, 2011. And it was pretty close by to me. It was near Silver Lake, I think. So if you're around that area or near that area, you should check it out. Check it out! 'Cause it's cool. Yeah. A lot of drunk people too. Which you gotta deal with at awkward VIP things. Anywho, I'm gonna go to work, but I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.